AITA for not letting my parents into my son's life after they secretly tested his DNA? I met my wife Sonia at a restaurant where she worked as a waitress. It took me a while to finally be her boyfriend. I introduced her to my parents and they voiced out their disapproval after meeting her. My parents think that Sonia is only using me to achieve her American dream. I told them that is racist and I am very offended by their assumption. After my wife accepted my marriage proposal, we asked for both our families' blessing. Her parents were happy for us, but my parents were gutted and refused to give their blessing. Because of this, we decided to elope and only invited my brother and Sonia's best friends to be our witnesses. Long story short, now that we're 2 years married and after we welcomed our first child, my parents started to reach out to us. My kind-hearted wife didn't think twice to welcome my parents into our lives. She let them meet our baby 2 days after being discharged from the hospital. My parents visit us regularly, and one day while Dad and Mom are playing with Gareth, Mom said something along the lines of, "Aren't you the cutest baby ever? I am so glad to confirm you are indeed my grandson." She didn't know I was around because she looked startled when I said, "What does that supposed to mean?" Mom tried to change the subject, but I insisted she tell me what she's talking about. Mom sat me down and apologized first before telling me that they had Gareth's DNA tested to make sure that he's mine. I was speechless for a moment, and before I blew up from anger I told Dad to give me my son and they better leave before I lose whatever respect I had left for them. My mom was very apologetic and said it's because they don't trust my wife and that our son looks nothing like me. I didn't argue anymore and told them to get out of my house. My wife was in the kitchen preparing for lunch and told her my parents had an emergency, that's why they left without saying a word. I didn't tell my wife about the whole DNA test thing until after 2 weeks when she asked why Mom and Dad didn't visit anymore. I told her everything as I know I cannot keep a secret from her. She started crying and it broke my heart. I know how much she tried to win my parents' approval, and what I told her was like a slap across her face. That night she told me that she can no longer let my parents into our child's life, and I agreed with her. When Mom called to ask when they can visit again, I told them they are no longer welcome in our son's life. Mom called my dad and I told him the same thing. He was livid. He called me ungrateful and cruel. He also said a few choice words about my wife which angered me more. I didn't even hear the rest because I just hung up. Did I overreact? AITA? NTA. Your parents are racist and your son is better off without them. NTA. And to all of you saying that you should not deprive your child of a relationship with his grandparents. They are openly racist towards his wife, the mother of this child. They will make remarks about that. They will make him feel bad about his heritage and will talk badly about his mother even when he is there. Don't let them into your life. Stay your ground. NTA. Your job here is to back up your wife. They are assholes. You're doing fine. NTA. Your parents never blessed you marriage. They made their disdain and racism for your wife well known. And they only wanted back in your life when they had a grandson to dote over. Edit. Damn. My highest voted comment. Thank you everyone. NTA. Your primary responsibility is to protect your child and wife. Allowing your racist family anywhere near them would be the opposite. NTA. As someone who has a meddling, invasive mill who has boundary issues, I'd have cut that shit out. 2. I wish my husband had your gumption. High five. Dude. NTA. At first I thought you were holding a chip on your shoulder in the face of your wife being a lovely person, yet seeing her solidarity in the face of your parents' behavior. She's apparently all in on this one. She's a keeper for life. Long after your parents are gone, you'll have her, your child, Ren, and grandchildren. If your parents want to share that love, the responsibility to build back bridges is theirs. I wonder how their relations were with your wife's family before this. NTA. Your family unit is your wife and child. Everyone else is extended family. Your parents manipulated your wife, claiming good intentions by wanting to be in the child's life, and used that trust to conduct a DNA test. Boundaries are clearly not a concern for them. NTA. Your parents are ungrateful and cruel. They are cruel for what they do to you and your wife, and ungrateful that you let them back in after the crap they pulled about your wedding. Good on you for protecting your wife and child and standing up for your family. NTA. What is actually wrong with your parents? Like, I get they don't approve of your wife because clearly they are racists. But to check your child's DNA because he doesn't look like you is ridiculous. You dodged a massive disapproving bullet by cutting them out. Protect your wife and son. They are your family, not your parents. NTA. If they thought it was the right thing to do, they would not have hidden it. It's a huge slap in the face for not only your wife, but yourself, too. Your parents have shown that they don't trust your relationship, your decisions, your autonomy, or your child's either. Added to that, if they still don't trust your wife, then do you want them around, judging her parenting? Do you want your child growing up knowing that their grandparents don't trust their mom? Just saying. I'm so glad I can indeed confirm you're my grandson. Shows that child that they think mom is a liar, untrustworthy, and that the child's worth is only because they are her grandson. It actually disgusts me when people talk like that around kids, like they won't absorb the meaning of those words. Your parents' behavior is all kinds of horrible, and you are definitely in the right. Good luck, Op. You deserve every happiness for standing up to them. NTA. Listen, by the time we are adults, our parents become our friends, in which we can choose to like them or hate them. We grow apart or we come closer. We start to realize their faults and their bullshit, therefore allowing us to come to conclusions that we would never have been able to see or understand when we were younger. This part of your life is not only a growing stage but a sudden realization that your parents aren't the people you thought they were. It's okay to dissociate with your own family. After all, family isn't just about blood. You don't need their negativity or their racist views infecting your new family. I wish you and your wife the best. Just know that everyone here wants your wife to know that this isn't in any way her fault, and that this may have been for the best for you and your family. Much love. Ungrateful is taking for granted your forgiveness over their past behavior. Cruel is secretly testing the DNA of your child. As responsible parents, you are protecting your child from these people who have proven themselves untrustworthy repeatedly. Even now, it wouldn't have come out had you not caught them. There is no remorse, no understanding or acknowledgement that they have acted disgracefully. I'm so sorry for your wife. Cutting toxic family out of your lives is very difficult, but very important. NTA. NTA. Good job standing up for your wife. The nerve to say that they don't trust your wife, and still coo over the baby. Who needs that kind of crap? They will be back in a month with all sorts of cover-ups and platitudes. But you know what they really think now and what they think of your wife. They are the grandparents, but you get to decide what role they have in your baby's life. You will always know what they think of your family. Going to join the chorus here and say NTA 100%. Your poor wife's reaction to learning how your parents behaved was heartbreaking to read. I can't even imagine how much that hurt her. You are doing absolutely the right thing for your family. Especially since your mother doubled down. Their racism would only wind up hurting your son. 2. I wish the three of you all the best. Gareth sounds like he's got an awesome pair of parents. Depending on how they went about testing your kid, they could be in serious trouble. They would have needed parental permission in order to have his sample tested, and most labs wouldn't have tested him without it. Emphatic NTA. You don't want to expose your baby to racists. I'd be tempted to politely inquire what it is they think you ought to be grateful for. 2. NTA man. I'm sorry your parents treats your wife like that. I would have done exactly the same thing in your situation. NTA. As a mixed-race person who totally noticed how her white grandmother tried to undermine her POC mom. With no pushback from dad. Thank you for standing up for your wife and child. Absolutely NTA. I would continue no contact until they can at least admit how invasive their actions were. And even if that were to happen, I wouldn't let them see baby right away. It's definitely a series of conversations first. Congrats on your new baby.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.